Ever played a game so perfect it feels like it was built just for you? Not every game hits that mark, but the ones we're about to dive into aren't just good, they're 10/10 masterpieces. These are the single-player experiences that make you laugh, cry, and stare at your screen in disbelief, wondering how a game can get everything so right. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're counting down the top 25 single-player games that deserve a perfect 10/10. Whether you love massive open worlds, mind-blowing stories, or gameplay that keeps you hooked for hours, this list has something that'll stick with you long after you put the controller down. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let's jump straight in. The Witcher 3 isn't just a game, it's a world you live in. Geralt's journey through war-torn kingdoms, tangled politics, and haunting monsters is packed with choices that actually matter. What makes it unforgettable is how every side quest feels like its own little story. You could spend hours hunting down a missing person or uncovering a hidden conspiracy, and it never feels like filler. The combat is satisfying, the characters are memorable, and the story hits you with moments of genuine emotion you don't usually get in games. It's one of those rare experiences where you put the controller down at 3 a.m. and just sit there thinking about everything you've seen, pure single-player perfection. Red Dead Redemption 2 is like stepping into a living, breathing painting of the Old West. The attention to detail is insane, from the way horses react under stress to the subtle ambient sounds of a campfire crackling at night. Riding through sweeping plains or snowy mountains doesn't just look beautiful, it feels alive. The story is slow-burning but rich, with Arthur Morgan's journey packed with tough choices, loyalty, and regret. Even the side activities like hunting, fishing, or random encounters feel meaningful, not filler. It's the kind of game where you can spend hours just exploring and still feel like you're discovering something new, and that depth is exactly what earns it a flawless 10/10 in the single-player world. God of War completely reinvented Kratos in a way that surprised everyone. Gone is the one-dimensional rage-fueled god from the older games, replaced by a layered character navigating fatherhood, grief, and redemption. The relationship between Kratos and Atreus is at the heart of the experience, giving every battle and journey emotional weight. Combat is tight, visceral, and endlessly satisfying, and the Norse world is stunning, full of hidden corners and breathtaking vistas. Every encounter feels purposeful, and the story balances epic mythology with intimate moments so well that it leaves a lasting impression long after you finish the game. It's cinematic, deep, and one of those rare single-player games that truly deserves a perfect 10/10. Nier Automata is one of those games that sneaks up on you and refuses to let go. On the surface, it's a stylish action RPG with slick combat, but beneath that, it's a meditation on existence, consciousness, and what it means to be alive. The way the story unfolds, layering multiple perspectives and endings, makes you rethink everything you just experienced, and somehow it still manages to hit emotionally without ever feeling heavy-handed. The music is haunting, the world is eerily beautiful, and the combat keeps evolving so you're never doing the same thing twice. Playing it is more than just completing missions, it's an emotional, mind-bending ride that deserves every bit of a 10/10 rating. Half-Life 2 is a masterpiece that still feels fresh decades later. From the moment you step into City 17, the atmosphere grabs you, the oppressive Combine, the desperate citizens, the subtle environmental storytelling, it all feels alive and immersive. The gravity gun alone revolutionized how we interact with a game world, turning ordinary objects into creative tools and weapons. Every level is meticulously designed to make you think, react, and feel tension without ever breaking immersion. The pacing, the storytelling, and the way it blends action with problem-solving make it timeless. Playing Half-Life 2 isn't just about shooting aliens, it's about experiencing a world that's smart, tense, and unforgettable. And that's why it earns a perfect 10/10. Portal 2 isn't just a puzzle game, it's pure genius wrapped in humor and charm. The moment you start experimenting with portals, you realize how cleverly the levels are designed to make you think in ways you never have before. Then there's GLaDOS, whose sarcastic wit and dark humor make every line unforgettable, and the side characters that add depth without slowing the pace. The story is surprisingly engaging for a puzzle game, and cooperative mode takes the experience to a whole new level, forcing teamwork and clever problem-solving. Playing Portal 2 feels like being part of an inside joke that challenges your brain at every turn, and that's why it's undeniably a 10/10 single-player classic. BioShock isn't just a shooter, it's an experience that sticks with you long after the credits roll. Rapture, with its Art Deco design, haunting atmosphere, and twisted undersea society, feels alive in a way few game worlds do. The storytelling is brilliant, blending environmental clues, audio diaries, and moral choices that make you question your actions. Combat is strategic and satisfying, but it's the narrative twists like that unforgettable "would you kindly" moment that make it legendary. Every corner of Rapture tells a story, and the mix of tension, mystery, and discovery makes it clear why this game is a perfect 10/10 in single-player gaming.
Eleanor's grown now, baby snatcher.
Mass Effect 2 is one of those rare games where your choices genuinely matter, and the weight of those decisions keeps you invested from start to finish. The galaxy feels alive, full of complex characters with their own goals, quirks, and backstories, and recruiting your crew becomes more than just a mission. It's forming bonds you actually care about. Combat is tight and satisfying, blending shooting, powers, and strategy seamlessly, but it's the storytelling and character interactions that make it unforgettable. By the time you hit the final mission, you feel the stakes like never before, and the emotional payoffs hit hard. It's ambitious, polished, and one of the single-player RPGs that absolutely earns its perfect 10/10 status. Alan Wake 2 takes everything that made the first game eerie and turns it up to 11. You're thrown into a dark, suspense-filled story that switches between a novelist trapped in a nightmarish world and an FBI agent chasing strange, unsettling events. The game's use of light and shadow isn't just for show, it's part of the tension and combat, keeping you constantly on edge. Some sections are slow-paced, but that actually adds to the suspense, letting the story sink in. With its haunting atmosphere, clever storytelling, and moments that will genuinely make your heart race, Alan Wake 2 is an unforgettable psychological thriller that fully earns its 10/10 spot on this list. A Plague Tale. Requiem is a bittersweet journey that hits you in the feels in ways you weren't expecting. It takes everything that made the first game powerful and expands the world, the story, and the emotional stakes between Amisha and her younger brother Hugo. Walking through plague-ridden landscapes with swarms of rats pressing in is terrifying and tense. But those moments of quiet connection, hard choices, and rare beauty are what make it unforgettable. The way the game balances stealth, story, and heartache makes you care deeply about these characters and their struggle. It's one of those games that stays with you because it makes you feel, and that's exactly why it deserves a perfect 10/10 on this list. Uncharted 4 is the perfect blend of cinematic spectacle and pure fun. Nathan Drake's final adventure takes everything we loved about the series, the climbing, the treasure hunting, the thrilling set pieces, and cranks it up to an entirely new level. The story is surprisingly emotional, giving Drake a depth and vulnerability we hadn't fully seen before, especially in his relationship with Elena. Every location feels alive, from lush tropical islands to crumbling cities, and the pacing keeps you hooked from the first jump to the epic finale. It's exciting, heartfelt, and endlessly entertaining, proving that single-player action-adventure games can hit both your adrenaline and your heart, and that's why it absolutely earns a 10/10.
Oh, having fun yet? Oh, real blast. Oh, shit. Got him! I'm steady. Come here, you.
Life is Strange is one of those games that sticks with you because it feels real. Max's journey through Arcadia Bay isn't just about time powers, it's about friendship, loss, and the tough choices that define us. Every decision you make has weight, and the game trusts you to live with the consequences, which makes the story incredibly personal. The characters are authentic, the dialogue hits just right, and the music perfectly sets the mood for both quiet moments and intense emotional beats. It's not about flashy mechanics or action, it's about connecting with the story on a human level, and that emotional resonance is exactly why Life is Strange deserves a perfect 10/10 on any single-player list.
First time.
Go, Victoria. Why are...
I did it.
Firewatch is a game that proves sometimes less really is more. You're dropped into the Wyoming wilderness as Henry, a fire lookout with only your radio connection to Delilah keeping you company, and somehow that's all it takes to pull you into an unforgettable story. The writing is sharp, funny, and deeply human, making you care about choices and conversations in a way most games can't. Exploring the forests, uncovering small mysteries, and following the tension as the story slowly unravels creates a quiet, intimate experience that feels surprisingly impactful. It's short but leaves a lasting impression, and that emotional clarity and focus are why Firewatch earns its 10/10 spot on this list.
I just changed clothes laying on the floor because I don't know who could be watching.
Look, I'm headed back to the gate, and now that I've got an axe, we'll know
The Last of Us Part 2 is an emotional juggernaut that doesn't shy away from making you uncomfortable. Ellie's journey is raw, brutal, and deeply personal, tackling themes of revenge, loss, and the consequences of our actions. The gameplay blends tense stealth, visceral combat, and breathtaking set pieces seamlessly, while the world itself feels alive, full of small details that make every encounter believable. It's a game that challenges you emotionally as much as it does mechanically. Some moments will make you pause, think, and even question your choices. Its ambition, storytelling, and sheer emotional weight earn it a hard-earned 10/10 in the single-player realm.
Okay? No way we're finding her before scars are infected. Good. Back.
Batman. Arkham City isn't just a superhero game, it's a full-on detective playground. The city feels alive, packed with side missions, iconic villains, and little details that make you really feel like the Dark Knight. Combat is fluid and satisfying, letting you chain moves together in ways that never get old, and the gadgets are cleverly integrated so exploration feels rewarding. Beyond the mechanics, the story hits that perfect mix of dark, gritty, and thrilling, with moments that make you stop and appreciate how much care went into this world. Gliding across rooftops at night, chasing down criminals, and uncovering secrets, this game truly earns its 10/10 status for single-player excellence. Dragon Age. Origins is the kind of RPG that makes you feel like every choice matters. From the very start, you're thrown into a dark, brutal world where alliances, morality, and personal relationships shape the entire story. The characters are memorable. Alistair, Morrigan, and the rest feel alive, with their own motivations and quirks that pull you into their lives. Combat is tactical and rewarding, and the sprawling environments are full of secrets, side quests, and lore that make the world feel massive and lived in. The story can be harsh, emotional, and at times heartbreaking, but that depth is exactly what makes it a perfect 10/10 single-player experience.
It shall be done. I shall do it.
Are those walking corpses? This place is haunted.
Dark Souls is a game that rewards patience, curiosity, and a willingness to embrace challenge. Every enemy encounter feels tense, Every boss fight is a test of skill and strategy, and the world itself is hauntingly beautiful, full of twisted architecture, hidden paths, and lore waiting to be pieced together. The sense of accomplishment when you finally conquer a tough area or boss is unmatched in gaming, and the atmosphere is so immersive it almost becomes a character itself. It's punishing, yes, but every death teaches you something, making the victories feel truly earned. That relentless challenge, deep world building, and sheer satisfaction are why Dark Souls 3 is undeniably a 10/10 single-player masterpiece. Horizon Zero Dawn is a breathtaking blend of storytelling, exploration, and combat. Aloy's journey through a post-apocalyptic world overrun by mechanical beasts is both visually stunning and emotionally engaging. The landscapes from towering mountains to lush forests are alive, and hunting robotic creatures never gets old thanks to a combat system that's both strategic and satisfying. Beyond the fights, the story is surprisingly deep, exploring themes of identity, discovery, and humanity's legacy, all while keeping you hooked on Aloy's personal journey. It's a game that makes you want to explore every corner of its world, and the combination of its beauty, story, and gameplay earns it a solid 10/10 in the single-player realm. Sekiro, Shadows Die. Twice is an adrenaline-fueled, brutally satisfying journey that demands precision, patience, and skill. Unlike other action games, it doesn't rely on leveling up stats. Your mastery of parrying, timing, and observation is what carries you through. Every boss fight feels like a puzzle and a battle all at once, and the tension when you're facing a near-impossible foe is electric. The world is beautifully designed, steeped in Japanese history and myth, with hidden paths and secrets that reward exploration. It's challenging, sometimes punishing, but incredibly rewarding, making every victory feel hard-earned. That relentless intensity and finely tuned gameplay makes Sekiro a 10/10 single-player experience. Skyrim is the kind of game that feels endless in the best way possible. From the moment you step into the snowy holds of Tamriel, you're free to explore, quest, and craft your own story. Dragons, dungeons, and dynamic NPCs make the world feel alive, and every playthrough can be completely different depending on your choices. The freedom to become a warrior, mage, thief, or mix them all is intoxicating, and the modding community keeps the experience fresh even years after release. It's immersive, massive, and endlessly replayable, and that sheer scale and sense of adventure are exactly why Skyrim earns its perfect 10/10 in single-player gaming. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a masterclass in open-world design and storytelling. The city of Los Santos feels alive, packed with detail, chaos, and endless possibilities. Switching between Michael, Franklin, and Trevor keeps the story dynamic, while side missions, heists, and random events make every play session feel unpredictable. The blend of dark humor, action, and emotional beats gives the narrative weight you don't always expect in a sandbox game. Even years after release, it's still thrilling to explore, experiment, or just cause mayhem. Its sheer depth, polish, and replayability make it one of the few single-player games that truly deserves a 10/10. Max Payne 2 is a noir masterpiece that perfectly blends storytelling and gameplay. The bullet time combat is as stylish as it is satisfying, letting you slow down time and pull off cinematic moves that never get old. But it's the story that really hits the dark, brooding world of Max. His complicated love with Mona and the tragedy that follows keep you emotionally invested from start to finish. Every cutscene, piece of dialogue, and gunfight feels purposeful, and the pacing keeps you hooked without ever feeling rushed. It's gritty, intense, and unforgettable, and that combination of narrative depth and gameplay polish is why Max Payne 2 is a true 10/10 single-player classic.
Oh yeah, like good old times. When we were
Control
still
is a game that completely surprises you with its style, story, and sheer creativity. Stepping into the Federal Bureau of Control, you're immediately hit with a sense of mystery and intrigue. The shifting, otherworldly environments are unlike anything else in gaming. Combat is fast, fluid, and utterly satisfying, with telekinetic powers that let you pick up objects, hurl them at enemies, and feel like an unstoppable force. The story is enigmatic and full of twists, pulling you deeper into a world that constantly keeps you guessing. It's atmospheric, intense, and endlessly fascinating, and that originality, polish, and sheer sense of awe make Control a perfect 10/10 single-player experience. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic is a timeless RPG that lets you live out the ultimate Star Wars fantasy. From customizing your character and choosing your path in the light or dark side, to building relationships with a cast of unforgettable companions, every decision feels meaningful. The story is epic, full of twists, and manages to balance grand galactic stakes with personal character moments perfectly. Combat is strategic, and the world, planets, starships, and ancient ruins is rich with lore that fans and newcomers alike can get lost in. Its deep narrative, player agency, and lasting impact on the genre make KOTOR a true 10/10 single-player classic. And that wraps up our countdown of the top 25 single-player games that deserve a perfect 10/10. From epic open worlds to emotional journeys and mind-bending adventures, each of these games proves what single-player gaming can truly achieve. I want to hear from you. Did your favorites make the list, or is there a game you think belongs here instead? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's get the discussion going. If you enjoyed this journey through some of the most unforgettable gaming experiences ever, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.